Hello and welcome back to In Depth with Academia. I'm Richard Price, CEO of Academia EDU, and today we're going to dive into a fascinating paper by Annie Wang called Completion and Incompletion in the I Ching Structural Tension between hexagrams 63 and 64. So, if you've ever wondered about the symbolism behind the closing hexagrams in the I Ching, or, maybe you've just seen those hexagrams popping up in books or on like random t-shirts and thought, what do they really mean? Then this episode is totally for you. Before we get rolling, just a reminder, I'm here to present the ideas from Annie Wang's paper. I'm not endorsing all of its arguments as absolute truth or the one right way to look at things. That's, kind of the fun of academic research. None of this is about presenting dogma. It's about exploring, reflecting, and hopefully finding some insights that make you think about the world a little differently. All right, so what's the big question Annie Wang is tackling here? Basically, she's looking at two hexagrams in the classic Chinese text, the I Ching, specifically number 63, which is called Jiji, or already completed, and 64, called Weiji, or not yet completed. Now, wait. Why is already completed before not yet completed? Shouldn't it be the other way around? You finish something and then you're, done, right? But the I Ching flips this intuition on its head. And Wang's paper asks, why does completion not mean the end of the whole sequence? Why, if things are supposedly finished, is there still unfinished business? And more than that, what's the wisdom in linking completion directly to incompletion? So let's get into some key points from the paper. And I'll do my best to keep this both clear and, hey, kind of fun. Annie Wang points out that in the 63rd hexagram, all the yin and yang lines are perfectly placed. It's like, having all your ducks in a row. It should be the picture of harmony. But the actual judgment in the text isn't just, hey, relax, everything's great forever. Instead, it's super cautious. It says something like, success in small matters, perseverance furthers. At the beginning, good fortune, at the end, disorder. Yikes. Even at that supposed pinnacle moment, things are already starting to fall apart. Then, the very next hexagram, Weiji, not yet completed, has everything out of place. It represents this moment of transition, kind of like the little fox in the story who's trying to cross the river but gets his tail wet right before reaching the other side. Not quite there, some danger remains, and the text is basically saying, careful, you're not done yet, but there's hope. What Wang emphasizes is how these two hexagrams mirror each other structurally. Their lines are kind of flipped, almost like negatives in old-school photography. And, even more wild, inside each hexagram is the other, if you break them down into their core sections. So there's this yin-yang reversal built right in. Wang says this isn't a random thing. It's deliberate. It's reflecting a deeper idea. When something reaches an extreme, like perfect order or total chaos, it naturally starts shifting toward its opposite. Completion triggers decline, and incompletion holds the seed of renewal. Okay, a quick digression. I remember someone once told me that when you finally finish cleaning your house top to bottom, within hours you'll see the first dust settling in a bright patch of sunlight, and it's just, you realize you're always kind of in this dance between order and disorder. I think I was supposed to vacuum after that, but I probably went and made coffee instead. Anyway, back to the I Ching. Wang also ties all this to real history. The already completed hexagram, Jiji, connects to the height of the Shang dynasty, when things were strong and, flourishing, but decline lurked just around the corner. The not yet completed hexagram, Weiji, reflects the turmoil right before the Zhou dynasty kicked off their revolution. In both cases, what looked solid could collapse, and what seemed uncertain could succeed. For you, as a listener, why does this matter? Well, Wang's core takeaway is that completion is not actually the end. It's more like a turning point. Instead of getting stuck thinking, yes, I've made it, everything's perfect now, or, I'm still not there, I must have failed. These hexagrams and Wang's reading invite us to see life as cycles. There's always movement. The river is never truly crossed, and in a way there's a weird comfort in knowing that stability is always a little unstable, and change is maybe the only constant. All right, as always, I'm not saying Annie Wang's analysis is the last word. This is a way to think about the I Ching, not the definitive interpretation. Take what resonates and leave the rest. I hope you found some food for thought in this. That's it for today on In Depth with Academia. I'm Richard Price, wishing you a day of thoughtful transitions, and even if you get your tail wet crossing the river, a sense of renewal in every new challenge. See you next time.